Year again when racing fever sweeps the nation, Always Dreaming captured the win in the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby.
I was watching. Years of training, hard work, and discipline on display. These horses and their jockeys get one shot to win the Roses. The race to retirement isn't much different.
No, it's not. Here to explain is Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant. Darrell is one of the area's leading financial advisors and retirement planners. He also hosts his very own weekly radio show. Good morning, Darrell. How are you?
Good morning.
Good to see you on a Wednesday.
Great. On a Wednesday versus Monday. Yeah.
Did you watch the Derby?
I didn't. I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
So yeah, great race. I mean, you know, held off to finish.
But we're making this comparison to retirement and the Kentucky Derby. So how does the Derby compare? In contrast to retirement?
Well, I was asked that and I thought, well, that's kind of an odd question. How is retirement like the Kentucky Derby? And then I got to thinking about it and I started researching a little bit about, it turns out that's a really good question because there are a lot of similarities in terms of these horses that are preparing to get into this race. They have to qualify, number one. So I made a little short list of things.
Okay.
First of all, they have to qualify. There's an age restriction. You have to be 3 years old, et cetera, horse. Well, there's kind of an age thing when you're moving into retirement. It's, you know, you're targeting age 65, Social Security requirements, you know, 62, 66, you know, 70, et cetera. So some similarities there. Interestingly, all of these horses have really paid their dues. None of those 20 horses across the line ever, they didn't get there just by winging it. You know, they had some really good training. They had some really good planning. They probably had a team of advisors and trainers and so forth that were helping them to get there. And when they get there, they know their competition. The jockey knows the horse knows the jockey. They know their competition. They know how long the race is going to be, right? And so that they're prepared. They also have to have, interestingly, they have to earn what they call grading stakes, which is like points, you know, in a racing system. Well, you don't get ready to retire. You don't come to our office and say, okay, I'm 65 years old, I have $45,000 saved, what are we going to do? You know, I mean, there's just not enough money there. So you have to accumulate your points over time. You have to accumulate savings over time, right, to finally even make it to the gate. Now, here's what's really interesting. A lot of people, I think, in our city and across the nation think of retirement as the destination, right? Retirement is the end, right? I would love to retrain, as we have the radio show and so forth, I'd love to retrain Omaha and say, you know what, this is not the destination, this is the starting gate. You know, it's the new starting gate for the new race, for the new you, for the new phase of life. And so let's get prepared for it and let's know what we're doing moving in. Also, you need to know what your competition is moving into the race, right? Just like you know what style a horse you're going against, you know who the favorite is, you know if you're going to try to pace or you're trying to jump out and go wire to wire, etc. Similarly, you have competition when you get ready to retire. There's inflation, market corrections, interest rates moving up or down, Social Security strategy, and Social Security could just go away or be reduced in 2027 or 2030. That's actually on the forecast. What if you were to lose a pension? What if you were to lose some cash rents that you were counting on, et cetera? And the last thing is this, where the race is a little different than retirement is this. When those horses line up in the gate, they know that it's one lap around. Okay, it's a mile and a quarter. Retirement's not that way. So we have a lot of variables, and one thing is true, we don't know if the race is going to be a half a lap, 2 laps. What if you come around the first lap and they say, hey, we're not done yet, fellas, one more lap around, right? Well, you can't be running out of money, you know, on the second lap. You can't be running out of gas. So thankfully, they know how long the race is. We don't know how long the race is, so there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of math to be done. It's a team effort. Get the math done right, and you're going to do a lot better.
And you could win the Derby.
You could win the Derby.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess, how do you consider winning in retirement?
Well, when I first came into this industry, which was 30 years ago, that's a good question, Mike. I was told retirement is defined as when work is optional, right? You're successful if you can do what you want to do, whatever that is, playing the guitar, travel, golf, whatever, that would be successful in retirement. What if you could put yourself in a situation where you just don't worry about money, right? Where you have all of your pockets of dollars set up for different life phases over the years for the next 25 years of retirement. Okay, now we're 65, next 25 or 30 years, and you have all that segment compartmentalized into periods of years, properly funding these different segments of time. Stress level is going to come down. the ideal client that we have, the one that is most stress-free, is one that has defined the income need, defined the shortage, funded the shortage in segments of time, and has absolutely no stress. We see the stress level come down, and it's a beautiful thing. To me, that's success in retirement.
Yeah.
Well, you know one thing that I like? Unlike the Derby, we can all win at retirement,
That's right? Yeah, everybody has a chance to win. That's exactly right.
Well,
Good
listen,
point.
at what point do you recommend putting this plan into place? And I think that's kind of, it depends on the individual, doesn't it?
Well, it starts, today, regardless of your age. If you're 30 years old, it starts today. But when we're talking about really dialing it in and getting some plans put together, 5 to 7 years out at the minimum. Yeah. We're seeing about 55-year-old plus in my office right now. And sometimes people walk in the office, hey, I'm going in 6 months. What are we going to do? That's a little late. Yeah, there's still things we can do, and you should still call. But that's getting a little bit late.
Getting closer to retirement, though, you want to start refining that plan. Is what
Absolutely.
You're talking about.
Yep.
And if you want to make sure that you're on track, on the right track for a successful retirement, just call Darrell's office right now. He and his team are offering to put together a full retirement plan for the first 5 qualified callers today.
That number you'll want to call, 402-932-2141, for a full written retirement plan free of charge. You can also head to dbryantretirementstrategies.com to learn more. Everybody can win. We'll see how it goes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I know, if you
And
plan ahead.
I guess winning depends on each individual's goals, too.
Absolutely. Everybody's got a number? Yeah, we'll do the math.
Thanks, Darrell.
Appreciate it. Guest of the morning.